daughter. She'll never be a nurse.
Oh, you even said that. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Because
I was in it, and I knew what it was like. And I wasn't going to lie and put my child in it.
oh, because people didn't treat you with respect.
Well, it isn't that the people, it's the way they handle the nurses.
Oh.
And you had to keep quiet, even if you knew the doctor was doing wrong. You could not open your mouth.
You couldn't
Now,
take them aside on the side.
You
and
couldn't
say,
do anything.
Hey, doc.
You were just scum to the
You
doctor.
want to do that again?
He always blamed the nurse. And then they'd get out of the room, he'd say, I'm sorry, but I had to do it, you know. They blamed the nurse. The nurse didn't do this. Now the nurse talks back.
Sure.
The nurse goes to court.
Mm-hmm.
She's recognized.
Right.
But it's a little late.
Yeah.
They tried nurses from the Philippines. They brought nurses from England.
Hoping that they wouldn't complain.
Fill the gap.
Right.
But see, it doesn't. They're very short, the nurses. And with that, they did another thing. They lowered their standards. For instance, when a nurse comes in now, you don't know if she's a registered nurse, a nurse's aide, or a practical nurse.
That's a good point. Who
A
knows
good
what kind?
point. They do that on purpose. So you, the patient, won't know. You know what I mean?
Wow.
We didn't have that. You could tell in a minute that that's a student nurse.
Oh, because they had different uniform, right?
And we wore our hat, one black band for first year, two for the second year, and three for the third year.
That's what that meant.
And they took off your hat when you did something wrong, discipline you. As soon as you went out your hat, they knew you were being disciplined.
Okay, so they couldn't.
But how many nurses now are dressed that way? They come any old sloppy way. They come in almost with bedroom slippers.
They've got these funny floral prints.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
And you know, the big, fat, sloppy things. My sweetheart used to say to me, and we were, they say you cannot get obese. If you get too obese, you got to sit on a special table, diet table, lose that weight because you're setting an example for the rest of the people. You can't come in there sloppy.
That's a good point.
Who does it now?
Now it's like discrimination if you say something like that.
Say one word, boy, you get it. It's all different.
Well, I'm
and
glad.
Me being a nurse, I noticed it.
Right.
I noticed it very strong. They'd walk into Sid's room and slop, you know.
Oh.
And how many of them are really dressed in white and clean and look like a nurse? How many?
I guess there was a reason why you are in white, so then people can see whether it's
You're
clean.
supposed to be a clean.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, the same goes for the doctor.
Uh-huh.
Most of your doctors come in to examine you in clothes like you're wearing.
I know.
They
It's
should
like
wear a top coat. They don't, it isn't right.
It's crazy stuff.
It's lowered their standards. But you're dealing with life and death, and they should be much more aware of that than you're not selling a music box or a clock.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
But then they say, oh, you're from the old school. Forget it.
Well,
You know.
I'm sure with their extra equipment, they can do some things better than in the past.
And if you try to discipline,
Yeah.
the girl leaves and goes to another hospital. Even if you tell them, you know, if you tell the hospital that whoever's going to hire you,
Yeah.
they take you. They can't.
Because
they have no
need
nurses.
people. It's better.
They have no nurses.
It's better to have somebody who is
That's right.
not so good,
Now you
just
go.
to fill the gap.
Now, when my sister Rose, when she was in a nursing home, beautiful nursing home, brand new,
Oh yeah.
and the girls would come in, and one of them I tackled. We were talking. How many hours do you think they give her training? She's called a practical nurse.
Oh, a practical. So that's one step above just normal nurse. Oh.
When they have the nurses do what they call it. First comes your registered nurse, because she's taken all that, takes the state board and everything.
Right.
And then comes the practical nurse. She takes some courses. She can give an animal, this and that, small procedures.
Right.
She can't give intravenous and stuff, you know. And then comes the nurse's aide.
Mm.
That's Baloney and Charlie. They don't know anything. And I asked this practical nurse, how many hours do you have to train? 5 hours.
And then they throw them into the hospital?
5 hours.
Boy, they're short on people, aren't they?
5 hours. Who ever heard of it?
Wow.
You know. I chose to keep my sweetheart home.
Mm.
I don't care what the doctor said.
I've often read about how people made the transition. You know, in passing away, things are different now. It's like you can't just quietly go. They've got we got to rush them to the hospital. We've got to put all those tubes in. And I think a lot of people are dying in hospitals rather than at home.
Oh, sure. Because usually when you're dying, then you need oxygen and aids to help you. But they don't put you in the hospital. They put you in the hospice.
Ah, if you know that you're passing, right.
The doctor puts you in the hospice.
Mm.
That's what he wanted to do with my sweetheart. Absolutely not. He has a hospice at home when I'm with him.
Right.
Not anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
After all, I knew my sweetheart was going, and there was a time when I wanted to take care of him, not somebody else.
Sure.
My case is different, you know. I wouldn't leave him.
Right. There are some people who have written that in places like India, where you see people die in the streets or whatever, there's an understanding about what death is, whereas...
Then they put you on the river on a log and burn them all.
Right, right.
Which isn't a bad idea either, because whatever they had, yeah, they're cremated is really what they are.
It doesn't go into the water.
Outside cremation is what they have.
Right.
Now there's more and more cremations right here. Ann and Joe, Helen.
Mm-hmm. Is that the way you'd like to have your body handled?
No.
No.
I'm going.
What's your preparation?
I'm going next to my sweetheart.
Oh, that's nice.
Going right now. We picked our place.
Okay.
Where it was 7 years before he passed away, and we had no idea. He's in a mausoleum inside. He's not buried in. We looked and looked, and then what stopped it all? We wanted one stone. And for some reason or other, the cemetery said, you cannot have one stone. You have